Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures guiding.
Good morning and welcome to MyTarot.org. And surprise, surprise, it is a holiday here in the States. Thanksgiving. It's 7:15. I'm bright-tailed and bushy-eyed. I actually got up, which I knew I would, I told myself it was the right thing to do. So, but the positive side is that I do get to spend the day now. Starting early, getting things done, but I can relax here in the morning. So, boy, when that alarm went off, all I wanted to do was hit the snooze alarm. But this is a good way to start the day, and it's good to have these habits. So what are we doing? We are doing our morning reflection before we start our day, or if it's the middle of the evening, or, up at the Arctic Circle, they don't even have a time zone. I think they're trying to still establish a time zone. So if you are at the North Pole and don't even know what time it is, doesn't matter. Time is relative. So, feet flat on the floor, butt comfortable, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. Listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. It's not a bad way to start the day. So this is where we check in with the universe. As I like to say, the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And we use the tarot as that reflection. So let's check it out today. As I get my extra cup of coffee. Getting up early on a vacation, nothing better than having a cup of coffee with that. Goodness. Okay, so. Okay, so after one last breath there, I am going to make our 3 stacks, and each one of these is like a different thread going out to the universe. Each one of these is like a different thought or idea, or if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will be one conversation, this stack will lead down a totally different conversation, and this one will be totally different. So today, going to be having family over, going to be getting everything ready for the holidays. So I'm going to take the bottom stack here, which is what I like to think of as what might be underneath influencing us, and we don't even see it. And again, I'm going to do our 3-in-1. And I'm going to flip each card over like they are the pages of a book. Good morning. How are you? And happy Thanksgiving to you. Aw. I hope you do have I hope your day's going great. Can you tell I'm really wide awake? Wow. So, flipping each one of these over like a page of a book. I really don't feel like I'm awake. And it's like, oh, welcome to my family this night. So, who's going to cut the turkey today? Who knows? But we have here the 5 of Swords. So, 5s are always a challenge. Swords are thoughts, ideas, and our anxiety. So sometimes I call this the ego card. So with the numerology, and I kind of repeat this to myself just so I have it locked in. But you have one. One sword is a thought. It's an idea. Great. 2, you have choices to make. 4, you have 4 legs on a table, so it's nice and stable. So, but when you have 4 swords, and I'm going to use the example of my family, and you invite them over, somebody's always going to have an opinion. Somebody's going to say something. And then all of a sudden the egos come out, the struggles start coming out. Even if you win the argument, somebody loses. You can't win for losing. And, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? So that's what I kind of think of when I see the 5 of Swords. Things are just going, mentally it's like you got it, you're good, you're set, you got your list and everything, and somebody throws in that wrench. But let's take a look at the next card. So, the Tower. Now keep in mind that the Tower is not what we see in the movies. It is not this great cataclysm, expect your house to catch fire. As I always say with the Tower, and it's interesting to have the conversation with clients. And I always ask them, and I get different answers. And it was kind of interesting this weekend when I was at an event doing a bunch of readings and talking to people and things like that, is that I always ask, what is the one thing that hurts worse than a lie? And it's pretty interesting to see all the different answers. Good morning, Maureen. So it's interesting to see. And, it's just an icebreaker. You could even ask that at a party or something. And the one thing that I find and that I believe hurts worse than a lie can be the truth, which falls right into the 5 of Swords. The truth can bring down kingdoms, destroy families, all those things like that. So when we see the Tower, it's, originally it was called Le Maison Dieu, the House of God. It's the light of truth striking that tower. And the thing is that I always say, wouldn't you rather know what the truth is so that we can start the foundation, let it crumble, we'll have a solid foundation, or would you rather live in a tower built on lies? It's those things like that. So, let's see what the next card is. And then we have a new beginning. So, what are pages? We have court cards, gender neutral, not male, not female. They're masculine and feminine. Pages are, when we deal with court cards, it can be somebody else. It could be you, it could be me, or just part of a situation. And pages are young and are willing to learn. It's that whole mentality for ourselves when there's something new starting, especially if we have a revelation, if we we can build our expertise on our ego. We can be that egomaniac with an inferiority complex where we don't want people to know what we don't know. Especially if we get into an argument, especially if it's around the family, during holidays where, we don't need to hear it. It's like we know what our issues are. But we have the Page of Cups here. And if pages are starting fresh so that they can learn to be a knight who can learn to be a king, then cups are spirituality, emotions, and feelings. Then this is about starting fresh, especially if the arguments start, somebody even starts throwing around truths. It's like, yes, I know that I'm not making $1 million. Yes, I know that my, this or that. with the Page of Cups, it's almost like humbly coming and saying, here's my cup with a fish in it. Everything will be fine. So if this is us, we could be watching people playing out their mind games. This could be work. This could be home. This could be anywhere. But I think today that it's just remembering that a page is humble. A page knows what they don't know because they want to learn. So when a page offers you that cup, it's sincere. So I'm going to turn over the advice card. And it's more swords. It's the 8 of Swords. So 8s are about progress, moving forward. In numerology, I talked about 1 being a seed and 4 nice and stable. Then we get to 5 swords because, something throws us off our game. Well, imagine if these swords were pieces of steel and we're carrying them. And then you get 7 swords, and swords are anxieties, and swords are thoughts and those things that we go through. When you get to 8, sometimes you're standing there and you feel like, you feel almost trapped. As you see here, because, 8s are about progressing and moving forward. But when you have this much going on in our lives, sometimes we almost feel blindfolded, or as I say, it's like you put a brick in front of your face and it looks like an insurmountable wall. But if you pull it back, you see it's just a brick, and once you can see clearly around it, you can see that the path is actually absolutely clear, and that you can shake off that blindfold, and that you're not really, any binds that are tying us are just of our own making sometimes. So today really is about breathing. Today, whether it's work or whether it's family or whether it's something that we do to ourselves, because sometimes we're our own worst critics. Sometimes we can look in the mirror and this is what we do to ourselves. We crush our own egos. We try and say, we hit ourselves with the worst things. But the thing is that these are the things that tie us down. And if we just open our eyes to what's really going on, we get away from that anxiety, the stress. This is just stress that everybody feels. And we come at it with humility and an open heart. And that's what this card is. This is what happens when we are young and naive. We come at things with humility and an open heart. He's looking at the tower. They're acknowledging the tower. But they're also offering a way out. Because, again, humility and open heart, all it's saying is take the blindfold off before we keep getting into this argument, before we keep going back and forth. Maybe we just need to not be blinded by whatever. Sometimes people can pull our strings, push our buttons. Every time somebody pushes a button, every time somebody pulls our strings, they blindfold us because now they control how we feel. Every time somebody has the ability to push our buttons, every time somebody can pull our strings, they are controlling the situation and how we feel. Does that make sense? I am acting out of emotions. I am acting out of anger. I'm acting out of shame. I'm acting out of all these things like this. And that blindfolds me. And so today, the page would say, yeah, that may be a truth, so I'm going to have to come at this humbly. you know, and I've got some learning to do, but not engage. And again, it doesn't have to be a big deal. It could just be something happens on a Thursday that can throw us off our game. But if we come at it humbly with something to offer, then we'll be able to walk away and not have our buttons pushed and our strings pulled. So with that, I hope everybody has that amazing day today, that amazing evening wherever you are, anything like that. And tomorrow is another day off for the holiday, but I'm going to get up because this really has been worthwhile. And especially if I'm having family over today, talk about buttons pushed, strings pulled. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to try and come at it humbly. Thanks again, everybody. Take care and have that amazing day.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance.